Hello, Brick Sculptors, and welcome back to Brick Sculpt. Today I want to talk to you about a new technique I just discovered in building Lego trees, and to me this changes everything. Now in front of you here I have a selection of trees that I've built of various ages. Some of them are real basic. I'm sure you've seen a tree like this where you have a trunk, a post, and just a bunch of these green branches on it. This one's got some leaves and some birds on it. Got some flowers on that one. And back here, I've got a real large kind of oak style tree. A couple little techniques here. I did a video on pinning these together with these little 3-branch little brown pieces. Check that out. That's another game-changing technique that I've acquired that I use all the time now. I also did a video on how I recently got some flex tube from Bevan's Bricks, and I've been experimenting with this stuff, and suddenly I discovered how I can make trees more realistic. Now on bigger trees, especially like this is kind of more of an oak style, where the tree is rather tall and then kind of branches out very wide from the base. And the nice thing too with these pinned together is I can really oppose them however I want, put them wherever I want on this tree. On smaller trees, however, it's pretty rare for a tree, I'm sure some species do, but to grow straight up and straight out like this, almost at a 90-degree angle. I actually have a picture here, and you'll be seeing more of this because I'm doing a mock on this building eventually. But real trees, smaller trees at least, and smaller species tend to grow more up. The branches kind of point upward, and they're long and typically thin. They don't really grow out. So building a small tree can be tough because the only way to get it tall like this is to keep stacking and stacking, and then it gets really, really thick. Well, in fiddling around with some parts and some flex tube, I built this guy. And if we put this next to these other ones, oops. It's a lot different. And to me, it's more realistic to how a small tree really would grow. The technique I used for doing this, took my flex tube. I also did a short video on how I made this little cutter here for my razor blade, but I cut tubes to specific lengths, either 4 studs, 3 studs, 2 studs, 5 studs, or 6 studs, and then I use them on these branches. So if I dissect this tree, the trunk, I've got one of these little bottle topper pieces, 2 of these Technic cross pin pieces, that's my trunk. I like this trunk because it's not perfectly round like one of these, so it looks more realistic because it's got some texture. And then I use some of these flower armatures in brown, these 3-leaf pieces, and I would put a piece of flex tube on it and then just kind of randomly place leaves along the tubing, and I do various lengths so it looks a little more natural. I have 2 of these on the bottom, and then I have another one of these Technic pieces. Now I should mention, I use these Technic pieces, but there's actually a technique I like better, and that is the candlestick piece. The reason I didn't do it in this one, I only have these in white. So needless to say, I have those on order in brown, and I like it too because the candlestick is slightly thinner than this Technic piece, so it kind of tapers. But again, white isn't right on this, so eventually I will be getting brown and you will see that change, but I can throw them in there just so you can see. So I have another layer there, and then another candlestick, and on this. Now you'll notice on the flower pieces, the ones on the bottom are all brown, reddish brown, and the one on top is green. You can fiddle around with that. I think it looks better up here because it's kind of leafier, and better down here in brown because it's more like branches. But you can fiddle around with that and make it to your liking. But let me know below what you think of this new technique, and let me know, side by side, what you think of these 2 trees and which one you think is more realistic. that's all I got for this time. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. We're going to do more videos just like this.